Yo, Zaunitas! Sejam muito bem-vindos ao Laboratório de Zaun. Sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um vídeo aqui no canal. E hoje eu trago pra vocês aqui aquele vídeo tão prometido pra vocês, que eu ia estar entrevistando o Rioter, falando sobre as mudanças, né, do sistema ranqueado, principalmente falando hoje sobre as recompensas. E eu peguei várias das suas questões e eu tô trazendo aqui pra ele responder pra vocês. Bom, vamos falar sobre a primeira questão que vocês mandaram pra mim. Agora vão ter 3 splits de recompensa. Isso significa que vocês vão esticar as recompensas atuais e dividir elas em 3 splits? Ou criar novas recompensas para suprir aí essas diferenças de split? E sobre a skin vitoriosa do final do ano, o que vocês vão fazer com ela? Vocês vão tornar ela melhor? Porque teoricamente ela marca o fim da temporada, né?
Cool. So for the first question, which is about what are the split rewards and are they taking the place of the season rewards or are we redistributing them, things like that. The basic idea is we're going to keep the season rewards. So specifically the Victoria skin, we're going to leave as a season reward, and we're not really going to change a lot about that. We may take a bit of an approach where we take some of the things that previously might have been a season reward, like maybe an icon, for example, I don't know for sure, that we might turn into split rewards. But in general, the split rewards are intended to be kind of in addition to the season reward package. And the split rewards are really supposed to be more about sort of giving you things that you can use to showcase your skill in and out of the game. I think that's kind of what it comes down to for us. And so when I think about things like the border, which you will have, which will always represent your current rank going forward. When I think about the armor upgrades, which will be things you earn during the splits, and then some of the other stuff that we haven't announced yet, I think all of those kind of hit on that goal of something that you can show off in and out of the game. And then some of the things that we'll do in season rewards will be things like the Victoria skin. And we may look at some other things that we can do to recognize players who get multiple positions to a certain rank or things like that, but we haven't figured those out yet.
I understand. Bom, vamos para a segunda questão então. Essa aqui é uma questão que o inscrito mandou pra gente aqui, que é o Neto Santos, e ele pergunta o seguinte: quando chega esse novo sistema ranqueado com esses novos prêmios aí? Agora na pré-temporada ou no começo do ano que vem?
Yeah, so in terms of rewards, the first time when players will have access to earn towards split rewards and towards season rewards for 2019 will be with the start of the season. So that'll be sometime in January. I think we'll announce the date in the near future, but I don't know that we have yet. And then in terms of the rest of the system, it's going to be a little bit split up over a couple different points in time. For most of the kind of UI changes and the new rank emblems and the banners and things like that, that stuff is going to mostly come in early December when the bulk of the rank changes go out. As for the rest of the stuff like rewards, earning toward rewards and things like that, that'll come with season start. And then also we have position ranks, which we are going to be previewing in different regions at the beginning of Split 1. And then by Split 2, we'll hopefully, like the beginning of Split 2, we'll have figured out exactly like all the tweaks we need to make and figure out how to roll it out more broadly. Or if something really bad happens, we can always revert it, and then by Split 2, we won't change anything. But that's the general idea of when things are kind of coming and what players can look forward to.
Poxa, que legal. E serão 3 splits mesmo? Tipo, sem nenhuma possibilidade de colocar mais um ou tirar algum durante o ano que vem?
That's actually really interesting. When we worked on figuring out how many splits we were going to have, we started by kind of figuring out what the maximum length of time that we would sort of be comfortable making a split, and we started around like it's probably about 3 months. We did look at smaller numbers of splits, like we looked at 2, which would have made each split around 4 months, 4.5 months, and we looked at more. We looked at 4 and 5, but it started to get to be that splits were too short to actually set any kind of meaningful goals or make progress toward rewards without having to really grind super hard to get them. And so ultimately we kind of decided for 3 for the first season to kind of see how things go. But I think the beauty of splits, at least in our eyes, is they allow us to be a bit more experimental, right? We can test out different rewards in different splits. We can test out different gameplay changes if we need to make them. We can test out different quality of life upgrades for ranked. And next year, if we see that 3 splits is too many or too few, then the next season we can always adjust that, right? And I think that is something that we're really looking forward to being able to do. So I think at the core, we're really going to be looking for player feedback as to how those feel. Do splits feel too long? Do they feel too short? Do the rewards feel compelling? And we can adjust in following years like 2020 and 2021.
Interessante. Agora vamos para outra pergunta, e essa daqui é uma pergunta bem interessante, do Tio Ramos. Os prêmios da temporada vão ser para a sua função mais alta ou haverá algo para quem jogou com todas as funções, tipo Jack of all trades?
Well, I love that name, Uncle Ramos. That's great. We don't have any concrete plans in terms of how we would reward players who hit multiple positions to a certain rank or things like that. But I think at the core, we would like to find something that feels really good for recognizing those players. Hopefully, we'll be able to identify something that we really feel good about in terms of rewards, and we'll announce that later in the season. In terms of how just season rewards will work in general, it'll be pretty similar to today, where season rewards will be based on your highest rank of the available queues and positions. So just like today, where you earn the Victoria skin if you hit gold in any queue, it'll be like that in the future too. So you'll earn the Victoria skin if you hit gold in any queue or any position. And so it's just an extension of that rule. I think in terms of whether we'll do chromas for different positions or chromas for hitting different ranks or chromas for different queues or things like that, we could explore all kinds of solutions that look like that, and probably other types of rewards as well. I don't have anything to announce today, but I would just say look for an update on that in the coming months. And actually, this is when it comes to rewards, this is one of those things where actually getting player feedback about what kinds of things would feel really awesome would be fantastic for us. So to the extent that people have ideas and would like to share them, we would certainly love to hear them as well. I think with the caveat of the easy answer for a lot of people about what kind of rewards are cool is give me free skins, give me RP, give me Orange Essence. And I think those aren't really the kinds of suggestions we're looking for, but things along the lines of, hey, you could do chromas for the Victoria skin that work like this, or here's an idea for a different type of content that maybe you could do, or a different way you could work with the ranked armor. I think all those would be really awesome suggestions.
Falando sobre essa questão do Tio Ramos, ele também comenta uma coisa interessante, né? Ele comenta que, chegar no ouro é uma conquista sentimental, né? Que pra ele receber as recompensas você devia ter que ter pelo menos ouro com todas as suas roles, né? E o que vocês acham disso? Você acha que ele tá sendo um pouco exagerado?
I think that as a player, I think that's a really cool idea. I think it would be awesome if to earn the most prestigious rewards in the rank system, you had to really prove yourself across every position or maybe even a lot of champions or whatever. I think demonstrating adaptability is something that is really important in the rank system. And so for me, I would really think that's a cool reward. As a Rioter, I feel a little bit differently, and let me tell you why. One of the things that we have to think about when we make changes to the rank system and do rewards or have different system rules or things for gaining LP, we have to acknowledge that any way we design rewards or any way we design the system is going to be interpreted by players as the thing they have to do in order to get the most out of League of Legends. So let's say we said, okay, you have to be gold in every position to get the Victoria skin. A lot of players would go, well, the Victoria skin is really valuable, and I really want the Victoria skin. So I'm just going to play ranked in every position. I'm going to try to get to gold, even though I actually don't want to play multiple positions. And that will actually make a lot of players feel really frustrated. Imagine if there's just a position that you really don't like playing. Let's say you hate ADC, or you just aren't interested in it or don't like the champions. If we made the gold skin require you to get gold in ADC, then you would just feel like we were punishing you. We were making you play a thing that you weren't interested in playing just to get the skin that for a long time has only required you to play one position if you wanted. And so I think we try to be really careful about that. And that's a reason why we probably wouldn't make the Victoria skin require, getting all positions to gold or something like that. But I could imagine us doing rewards that are specific to positions or are specific to getting a particular position to a particular rank. I think if we did those, we would probably want them to be things that, as a player of that position, felt really special. But if you didn't play that position, didn't really matter to you. This is a terrible example that, we probably wouldn't do this, but imagine if you were a jungler and you hit gold in jungle, we changed the color of your smite, right? That's something that if you were a jungler, you would care about, but if you were a mid lane player and you only played mid lane, you probably wouldn't care about that much. And so I think things like that could be really cool reward types to do for players who master multiple positions.
Ah, que legal. Bom, vamos continuar aqui com mais uma pergunta, então. Dessa vez do Matheus Araújo, que perguntou uma coisa que milhares de pessoas me perguntaram sobre bordas. Como serão distribuídas essas bordas? Vocês vão mudar o sistema dela atualmente?
Yeah, there are going to be some changes next season to the loading screen border. And this is actually one of the questions that I get asked all the time on Twitter. Because way back in April, when we first started talking about the rank system, we said something, we were very hand wavy, and we were like, okay, we're gonna make the border be your current rank. And then everyone's like, wait, what's happening to my border? My past rank, I don't get recognized for my rank this season, all this kind of stuff. So in retrospect, I wish we had talked more about what we were doing for this, because I actually think it's really cool. So going forward, your loading screen border will be your current rank. And that is something that will still be in the loading screen, but will reflect kind of your whole journey over the course of the season, right? Like, let's say you start out silver, your loading screen border will be silver, you rank up, it's getting better, it's getting cooler, and then you hit gold finally, and that loading screen border changes instantly to gold. I think that's going to be a really good feeling, and a lot of players are going to feel really awesome about that accomplishment, that progress they're making. So what happens to past rank, right? Which is really important. Like, recognizing your legacy and what you achieved in the previous season is actually a big deal, and it's one of the things that inspires players to want to work really hard at the end of the season to hit a certain rank, because they know they're going to get this thing that carries on for the entire next year. So what we're doing for that is, with the whole ranked armor and the banner that we talked about in our video, there's a piece of the banner there, that the banner trim at the bottom, that is always going to reflect your past season rank. And not only is that going to show up on the loading screen, which is kind of where you see the rank border today, it's going to show up in your profile, it's going to show up on your rank dashboard, it's going to show up in the lobby, it's going to show up when you hover on someone in the friends list. So I think that the fact that that's going to be going to all of these additional places, and that you're going to be able to see your current rank and all of your armor upgrades in the loading screen, like, that feels to me like an upgrade, and I'm really excited for players to play it and feel it, because I think it's going to be a level up over what we have right now.
E agora a quarta pergunta de um inscrito, Nicholas Axel, sobre Twisted Tree Line. Ele vai continuar ou vai ser modificado para atender esse novo sistema? Atualmente o ranqueado do Twisted Tree Line, ele influencia a sua recompensa no final da temporada, né? Terá alguma influência esse sistema de 3 splits pro Twisted Tree Line?
Yeah, that makes sense. So basically what we decided when we started working on ranked was that we were going to do position ranks in solo duo, because solo duo is really, it's our main competitive mode, and it's also the one where your individual skill is what's really being tested, right? When you think about flex, where you can play with teams, there's a lot more like kind of teamwork orientation there. But the final reason that we wanted to put position ranks in solo duo was because the meta is pretty well set in place at this point. Players generally do expect, one of each position on the map. Our matchmaker assigns positions based on that, etc. So while that might change in the future and we'll have to adapt, it's pretty set now, and so we're comfortable doing something like positional matchmaking and position ranks in solo duo. As for the other queues, we basically set out to say every queue that exists that is a ranked queue should feed into the ranked reward system. So all the same rules that we have today will apply in the future. Season rewards will be your highest rank of any queue or position. You'll be able to earn split points by playing in any ranked queue. We just aren't going to bring positional matchmaking and position ranks to Flex or to Twisted Treeline. I think there's a broader question there of what are we doing with Twisted Treeline? Are we going to continue to support it? Are we going to make updates to it? I don't have any information to really provide about Twisted Treeline as a game mode, but I will say that as long as Twisted Treeline exists and we have a ranked mode, we'll support that ranked mode in the same way that we support all the other ones.
Ok, então a gente termina aqui com o CEP, né, que veio aqui responder a gente, então agradeço aí muito os comentários e eu espero que vocês tenham tido suas dúvidas respondidas, gente. Muito obrigado de verdade por todo o apoio que vocês deram e principalmente a Riot Games que tá aqui dando esse espaço pra gente fazer essas perguntas, viu? Muito obrigado por assistir esse vídeo até aqui, um grande abraço e até depois.